I know it sounds really crazy, but we are doing $100,000 plus weeks with one staff member, 92% profit margins, and no delivery. Let me break it down for you. I'm gonna tell you why you shouldn't start an AI automation agency. Now, Liam Otley and the other entrepreneurs teaching you this, doing an incredible job online, and they have the best intentions for the world to actually help you get out of your situation. But the truth is, a lot of them are still quite young, and they haven't actually had the experience of what it's like to run and scale a business. Now, I've been doing this for 14 years, so it's a long time. And over the last half decade, all I've obsessed on is building the new way of business. And 2 years ago, Sam Altman said one thing that stuck with me. He said, in the next few years, there's gonna be 2 kids who found a company that's gonna make $1 billion a year and have no employees. And that message was for me. So I've obsessed on that for the last 2 years. And about 6 months ago, I cracked the way to do exactly this. We do a daily email, and I'm gonna break down the daily email right now and take the key points of it to show you why you shouldn't actually run an AI automation agency. And instead, you should run an AI agency. I don't know what the name's gonna be yet, but you need to listen to the agency that we have built. My name is Caleb Govender. I've been an entrepreneur for 14 years. I've made millions of dollars online through local businesses. It's been a journey, but the last half decade, I've focused on educating myself to be able to bring the world a brand new way of actually doing and running business. And there's a particular framework and a model that I built that actually breaks the entire value equation, which means that the way that Hormozi is actually teaching you how to do business, the way that you currently hear business running in every part of the world becomes obsolete. And I know it sounds really crazy, but we are doing $100,000 plus weeks with one staff member, 92% profit margins, and no delivery. Let me break it down for you. So very simple. Online, you've got kids right now telling you to run an AI automation agency. I want you to set them up a chatbot. I want you to use a couple make.com automations and build them some automation for them to run their business more smoothly. The problem with that is you are focusing not on the right way to scale your business. If you are currently going to the market trying to sell random AI automation services to businesses, even if you niche down, you are not actually focusing on the model first, which is the model of the business that you are running. To build a highly successful, scalable, high exit, high leverage, high profit margin business, you need to understand firstly that not all businesses are the same. You see, a restaurant, as opposed to an agency, makes money in a very different way. And they also pay their overheads in a very different way. So not all businesses are the same. If you are able to fit this particular framework in any single business model that you build, you will be able to make a ton of money and help a ton of people. So here's a 7-step framework. Number 1, you need to have a business that solves an immediate pain fast. This will mean that it would rapidly attract customers and will actually put your business on a path that will be able to scale very rapidly. So immediate pain point. AI automation agencies, you're not solving an immediate pain point for most of the things that they're doing. Most business owners want one thing, more money. That's it. They want more money. If you're trying to automate different areas of their business that is not bringing in any immediate revenue, you're not solving a big enough pain point. You're trying to solve all of the random little things that don't really matter to the business owner. In our model, we are able to take a client's database and make them upwards of 6 figures in 3 days, fully autonomously run with AI. You have not seen anything like that before because it's never been possible until now. This is how we take an immediate pain point, client needs money, and we solve it fast. 3 days, 100K, easy. Issue number 2 is adaptability. Now, there's many ways you can understand adaptability, but an AI automation agency is technically an adaptable business because they're using new technology. But what you're selling might not be adaptable. If you're selling random things, random make.com automations, it doesn't actually make sense for you to be able to scale that business if it's not adaptable. Our model is adaptable because it allows you to make instant cash flow for any local business. Most businesses around the world, all they want to do is make money. Some of them are non-profit, I get that. That is a problem that will always be around, is how do we get a business to make more sales and make more money? Easy. Number 3, scalability. So the perfect business model has to fit the framework of being scalable. Scalability means that you can build something once and sell it multiple times with little to no effort. This means the product or service is scalable. Many people will talk about this, including Hormozi, about having a business that is ultimately scalable. AI automation agencies, most of them that I've seen, is you do a custom build for every single client. So you'll sign a client, you'll say, I'm gonna automate this for you. I'm gonna automate this for you. And every single time you are doing a custom build for a client, and that is not scalable. I have seen some AI automation agencies that had niched down into one particular automation service, which is great. And I understand at some point some of those could be scalable, but the vast majority that I've seen are not. With our business, we can sign a client and within 72 hours, there's money already hitting their account. From the time the client signs the onboarding form to the whole system being set up is about 6 hours. Number 4, you need to have low downside risk. So this was a really tough lesson for me to learn. As I went through business, I used to own a gym, and when I was 20 years old, I lied to the franchise network F45 that I was 21 years old so I could get a franchise for this particular gym. And fast forward 2.5 years, by the time I was 23, we were doing 100K a month. So the crazy thing is that I was able to build a gym that was one of the fastest growing gyms in Australia, and most importantly, I was the youngest F45 owner in the world. So started to get a little bit of attention from some of the people in the network, and they said, hey, you should open up another studio. So I capped mine out. We had 420 members. From there, we went to look at a second location. But as I was going through the process of actually getting another studio, having to hire new staff, I realized that I'm taking on more and more and more risk. And then I was like, hang on, Caleb, zoom out for a second. You're 23. Say you go down this path, you open up 100 gyms, 100 locations. Do you want to be having that much risk in your life? Do you want to have 100 leases and thousands of staff? No. Why would you actually want to have that? I don't believe that there is any human being on this earth who actually wakes up in the morning and says, I want to have 1,000 staff. I want to have all these leases, all this risk, all this debt. But that's just the way that we've been taught how to do things. So I said, in the business model that I built, it needs to fit a particular framework, and it needs to have low downside risk. We need to be able to scale infinitely and not take on any more risk. And this is the new AI agency, is as you scale, there is no additional risk that you take on. So with our business that we have, everything is completely set up to be 100% scalable. On top of that, as we scale, we do not take on any additional risk. Not from clients, not from partners, no finances, no staff. We can scale infinitely with a very small team and get to millions of dollars per month. Number 5, you need to listen to this one. The business needs to build recurring revenue. So if you have a business that you have to continually sell for tomorrow, that's an Hormozy term, I will credit him for that, you will never truly be wealthy. The way to actually get rich is to build recurring revenue. This means that someone pays you today and pays you again in 5 years. But what people don't understand is the compounding effect. I'll go through that in a second, but building recurring revenue is one of the most important pieces to having an incredible business model. Most of you don't have a software to sell to people, so you have no recurring rev. Most of you are just doing a one-off AI automation build and then almost building and releasing it like Serge Guattari into their business, and then they will have that automation now. But there's no recurring revenue. So every month you're just selling for tomorrow, selling for tomorrow, selling for tomorrow. With the new AI agency that we've built, there is a model that is built in for recurring revenue. Not only do we get paid major percentages out of the value that we create for other clients, we also have a software which we'll give to the clients, which will help them run their business for the entire year. So a lot of people have been asking this, how do we actually make money? I'll give you an example. We have a client, she has a clinic in Canberra. She's a fantastic client. We can run our 7D system, which is our AI system, in her business 4 times per year. And each of those times in a year, our cut is $25,000. That's $100,000. On top of that, next year we're rolling out a software, which is an AI marketing and sales software. And very simple, within 10 clicks, you can run an ad on any platform. The AI will help you write the copy, make the creative for you, and will also optimize the ad. When a lead comes in, an AI will reach out to them, have a conversation on messages, and call them if necessary. Now, for a business, how much money is that worth? Unlimited. Because they're still paying agency owners, probably like you, $2K a month to run very half-assed ads that are not very good. And you also ask them for ad spend on top of it. They're paying $6,000 a month and they're really losing out. Whereas our software is going to be $500 a month and they can pay that to us every single month and still get better results than what you're providing them. So SMMA is done. What Iman is teaching you guys is about to come to a close. And someone needs to actually call this out, because if you're still doing SMMA, you're missing the point of marketing and the point of sales because you don't really understand how to do it. And with AI now automating all of that, there's not going to be SMMA anymore. Number 6 is retention. This is what I say to the gentleman that I coach, is if you have a business that has recurring revenue and high retention, you have the lock and you have the key. Very simple. The lock is the recurring revenue. The key is the retention. If you are able to unlock recurring revenue and retention, you unlock a compounding effect in your business. So in month 1, you'll have one client who's paying you, say, $10,000 a month. In month 10, you'll have compounded all those clients. So if each month you sign 2 clients a month, now you're at month 10, right? You continually will keep those clients and you'll compound every single month and build your business in a way today that is so much more leveraged than selling for tomorrow and always losing customers. So if you're able to keep your retention rate over 90% plus, you'll have a business that can make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars if sold and marketed in the right way. Look at subscription-based services already, like Spotify, like Netflix. What do they have? They have recurring revenue, they have high retention. Very simple. Number 7, this one took me a lot longer than I probably should have taken, to be honest, but it was a lot of limiting beliefs that I had around brand. I had to fight through this. But number 7, your business needs to be built through brand. This can apply to the AI automation agencies if they do it correctly. Now, it doesn't always have to be the founder, but there has to be a face to the business because people buy from people. And brand is something that I've been obsessing over for the last 3 months. And those around me are laughing, but brand is something that I have understood since I was a child very deeply, and I didn't really know the level of understanding that I had until I really explored it in the last 3 months. Brand is something that I am now focusing on, and many of the AI automation agencies may be focusing on this as well, making your short form content, etc. But how does it fit the model that what we're doing? So we're gonna have AI content generation systems that are able to spit out thousands of pieces of content a week, and all it would require is a few hours of work from a human being. And this is what we're gonna include as part of our program sometime next year. But you need to understand that if you're running an AI automation agency, brand is super important if you're not doing it yet. But most importantly, the systems that you can build that are automated with AI that we are gonna include in our program are gonna be vastly different for the world.